Hello, I am Super Orange Cat. Here I am with Toonami's ratings from October 26, 2019. Let's start at the top of the block. At the top of the block, we have a rerun of Dragon Ball Super at a .24 this week. Then we have One Punch Man at a .23. Following that, we have Dr. Stone at a .19. Then we have Fire Force at a .16. Food Wars is at a .14, Demon Slayer at a .12, Black Clover at a .10, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind debuts on the block at a .11, Naruto Shippuden is at a .11 this week, Lupin the Third Part 5 is at a .10, and a rerun of My Hero Academia pulls in a .11. In general, this was a pretty ugly week for the block. There's only two upsides to this block at all. One is an episode of Dragon Ball Super that has now aired 3 times in the past 6 weeks, pulled in a .24 still. That just shows how much of a force Dragon Ball still is in 2019, where something that has aired 3 times in 6 weeks on a weekly block can pull in a .24 in today's ratings climate. That's just impressive. And then after that, you have One Punch Man, who built on total viewers and barely dropped in viewers of the key demographic adults 18 to 49. And that's just impressive too. Like, it's a near complete hold from Dragon Ball Super. I don't think we've ever on the block seen any show build off of Dragon Ball Super, but we just got dangerously close to having that happen here. And that's just a test to how much of a cultural force One Punch Man still is. Like, a lot of people are a bit down on what season 2 ended up being, but I mean, it still got so much behind it. A lot of people still love it. I've watched the first 3 episodes, I believe, so far in the season, and I love it so far. I honestly don't see where the complaints have come from through 3 episodes. Although I heard a lot of the complaints is with the fighting animations we'll see later in the season, so we'll see then. And then now we get to where stuff gets kind of disappointing. Dr. Stone had made a kind of a niche on being a low .2 show, which is very good to get for this block, like .20, .21, but it has fallen below that mythical number to a .19 this week. And like I've been saying, if you're the first 4 shows in the block, or at least the first 3 after Dragon Ball Super, your goal should at least be a .2. That's the acceptable number, and it has just fallen off that. I think for only like the second time though in like 10 episodes or however long Dr. Stone's been on Toonami. So overall, Dr. Stone has still been doing pretty well on the block, but a bit of a disappointing week. But it looks really good compared to the rest of the block, which was just a dumpster fire in terms of the ratings this week. You have Fire Force, which really has kind of, at least for me, lost a lot of its luster. Like, it's hard to explain it, but it just doesn't feel as good as it did at the beginning to me. And it's something I don't watch as regularly as I used to. And it shows in the ratings. I guess a lot of people feel the same way too, because it fell to a .16 this week. I think it was like a .19 or a .20 last week. And considering how compact and low the numbers are now, a drop of 3 to 100 looks pretty big on you. Although, again, other shows in the block have fared much worse than that this week. Like, for example, Food Wars, which is just trailing off ratings wise. It used to be like a .2 level show at 1 o'clock, which I thought was impressive. But again, it's starting to hit the long show runner blues. It's in season 2 of what we're probably going to get 4 seasons on Toonami. We still got 40 something episodes left. A lot of people are losing interest, and it has fallen to a .14 this week. I think that's close to the lowest it's gotten on the block, and in the future, I'm anticipating it getting lower and lower, which is why I'm honestly surprised that Toonami has not decided to push it back in the block yet. Like for example, the show I keep bringing up each week when I talk about Food Wars, Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter, depending on how you pronounce it. Like, Hunter x Hunter was starting to start trailing off in the ratings. It's a very long running show, and as it started doing that, Toonami slowly pushed it back until it ended as the very last show on the block. And I'm honestly kind of anticipating still something like that for Food Wars. Wouldn't be surprised if like 20, 30 weeks from now, it's like at 3 o'clock or 3:30. That's what I'm kind of anticipating. And then Demon Slayer. Jeez, a 0.12 this week. And in terms of the viewers of the key demographic, it got exactly half the key demographic viewers as One Punch Man did. Albeit One Punch Man has the big advantage of being 2 hours earlier in the block, but at the same time, I mean, Demon Slayer perplexes me in a weird way. 3 episodes in, and I honestly kind of hate the show. Like, it's not the worst thing ever or anything like that. It's just I don't get what people see in the show to consider it the best anime of this year, or even one of the best animes of this decade. And like this episode that just aired was a training episode, which is typically one of the more boring episodes in most shows. But at the same time, I'm not feeling the appeal of the show yet. I've been told by many people it gets better as the show gets on. They keep telling me to wait for Boar Boy or whatever the hell his name is. So at least I'll probably keep watching until Boar Boy comes in and see if he improves the experience for me. But I'm honestly disappointed. Apparently, a lot of people are too because it went from like a 0.19 to like a 0.16 to now a 0.12. Hell, in a couple weeks, it might be below a 0.10, which would be disastrous territory for Toonami for that show. Then you have Black Clover after that. Again, a more or less historically steady low long runner, kind of suffering the back end with along the back end of the block with low ratings, a 0.10 this week. I mean, Black Clover is going to be on until it stops making episodes, which we don't even have a set time for when it stops making episodes yet. So it's going to be here for a while. And Tanami seems pretty comfortable putting it like 1:30 or 2 o'clock since it's been in this part of the block for at least more than a year now. And I think that's what the game plan is going to be here on out. And I don't think this was Black Clover's doing being bad ratings this week. I just think it just kind of suffered along with everyone around it. And then the coup de grace this week, you have Golden Wind debuting at a 0.11, which was below my projections of a 0.14. Like, this looks bad, and it is bad, let's be real here, but if there's any solace to take here for Golden Wind, it built on Black Clover, which, considering how a lot of the shows this week have faltered or dropped below its average, that's something that only two other shows could say this week. So, I guess I'll take that if I was JoJo Bizarre Adventure here. I watched it and I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a promising start to Golden Wind. Especially loved Koichi coming back and the weird oddity of having Koichi being kind of the main focus for most of this episode, while an hour earlier you have the same voice actor Zach Douglas being Tanjiro. It just seemed hilarious and weird to me at the same time. But again, I love Golden Wind so far, and I'm looking forward to it in the future. And then after this you have Shippuden. It dropped 600s to 0.11. Usually this would be where I start trashing the show for its bad ratings, but it built on Golden Wind by only 3,000 viewers in the key demographic, but it built on a show that built on a show before that. And it's the only show this week that can say that. And again, I'm going to treat this a lot like Black Clover, as which is it wasn't that it was bad or it did anything wrong. It was just a victim of being around shows that did bad this week. And then after this, you have Loop on the Third Part 5. We've kind of expected this to be the lowest rated show in the block for a while. So, surprise, surprise, it's the lowest rated show in the block at a 0.10, with less viewers in the key demographic than Black Clover, who had the same number. I think it's just going to be Toonami's just like, let's just run this out at 3:30 and just kind of bury it here. Not much I can say about it. And then My Hero Academia rerun, building on Loop on the Third Part 5, by the way. And you can't really say much about My Hero Academia until a couple weeks from now when Season 4 will debut on Toonami on November 9th. So there's that to look forward to if you're a My Hero Academia fan. And if you want to watch the dub and you're just not going to watch it weekly on Hulu. But again, that was the block this week. Bit disappointing overall. Not good. What do you guys think? What's your favorite show on the block? Did you guys love Golden Wind's debut? Do you guys still love Demon Slayer? Do you guys what's different to you about Demon Slayer that makes that show stand out to you? I love hearing your opinions and your comments down below. If you like this video, if you want more Toonami Ratings content like this, please like this video, please subscribe and hit that notification button. I'm Super Orange Cat, and that is all.